Alright, hey guys, this is HotNoob here again. I'm going to be working or looking on at the second tutorial that I've written. This one's about basic variable usage. So we're going to start off again by opening up your program, your editor, whatever you're using. On the site, if you're just on the first post, you can just press the next button, right? Load the next post. So as you can see, this one's about just some basic variable types, how to use them, variables, and whatever, right? We're gonna create another console application. I'm gonna name this post 2. You can name it basic variables for future references, right? As you can see, right now it's in the last folder that I used it in. So just make sure it's in the correct folder that you want it to be in. Okay, it's going to load, build, whatever. You should be on the program, right? So again, you don't actually need all of those libraries or namespaces because, yeah. If you really want to be picky, just get rid of the ones that you're not using because it does add a bit of loading time, right? Which can be pretty important if you have 50,000 lines of code or something, right? You want to make it run as fast as possible. So I'm going to start off with bytes. Bytes are pretty much standard byte is 8 bits, and 8 bit is like a 0 or a 1, right? And if you look closely into binary, you'll understand this a bit better. But the max value for a standard byte is 255. That's why you may notice that value a lot, like IP addresses. You'll notice how none of the numbers are above 255, right? So an IP address is like 4 bytes, right? Right? That's the max IP address you can ever have, the max value. Anyway, I'm going to start off by defining the bytes, right? My bytes. And then we're going to assign it a value. Let's see, 128, whatever, right? 99, whatever you want. Anything between 0 and 255. So, it's not quite the best way to do it. There may be instances where you might want to define it this way, but there's a quick, easy shortcut. You can define it right there in one line, right? My byte, byte, my byte equals 255, right? Now, characters are very similar to bytes, depending on the encoding you're using. You can just input a number and get a character or whatever. So you can read closely into this in the post, right? So in this case, to define a character, chair, my chair equals a, yet a chair, right? So before C# and all that those things, people had to manually handle strings as arrays. Thankfully enough, programming's improved quite a bit. There's an object called a string. It's pretty much just an array of characters, right? So in this example, my string equals, what do they have there? Oh, this is my string. Blah. Right? So this shows the differences, right? How you can convert a character to a string. I'll just type that in quickly. This is a character array. You'll learn more about arrays later. And notice the difference between the single and the double quotes. Characters are defined in single quotes, while as strings in double. Okay. So see here, this is how we're going to define it, right? I'm gonna go string my string 2 because we already have it defined here, or you can delete it, whatever you want. Equals new string. And notice how you have a whole bunch of values here. And this is function overloading here. You'll learn about that again also in the future. So here, notice how it's like character array, right? And value, right? It's pretty good, right? So you can just put that in there. And this should pretty much, if you were to go console.writeLine, right? This will just output ABC, right? You can also handle the string like a character array, which is one of the great features about it. So console writeLine, and this is going to be from my string, not my string 2. And see right here, character, string, whatever, index. We're going to choose 0, and you'll learn about that when you learn about arrays as well. So in this case, this is the first character in your string, right? Index of 0. 1 would be the H, right? 2 would be I. And notice how that arrays, they start from 0 rather than the number 1. So this one will output T. And we'll verify that all at the end. Next is an integer. Now you can read up here and it'll tell you about the max numbers or the max values. And just remember, when you go above the maximum value, the integer will automatically become negative. Right? That's something you should keep in mind to so you don't run into that problem if you're ever making a game and someone tries to hack into it, right? Because that's a common issue. So we're going to start by defining an integer, which is just a number, right? 32 bits, right? My int equals 100. Now you don't unlike a byte, this can be a lot bigger, as I said before. So the thing to note about integers, they're whole numbers. They can be negative, positives, but they cannot have decimals, right? C cannot convert double to int, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. So you got your decimal. You read a bit more about it, right? Decimal, my decimal, whatever, how you spell it, equals 0.123, whatever. And you can choose to use the D or whatever. Ugh. Whatever, I'm just lazy here. I never actually use decimals, so it's my double. Doubles are like decimals, except they have more precision. Pretty much double the precision as a float does, right? That's why they're called doubles, right? So whatever, right? Right, no errors, yada yada. Then we have the floats. Float is it's less precise than the double, but if you use doubles for everything, it's going to use a lot more CPU. Stuff like doubles are more often used for accounting programs because they're more exact, right? And you want to be as exact as possible with accounting. Whereas floats are more often used for games, right? Because they want to, keep the CPU time or processing time as small as possible. So you can put F, right, for floats, D for double, stuff like that. It's not mandatory in some cases. Okay, and next we have the boolean. This is just holding a value of true or false. In this case, we're gonna set it to being true. Right. Now there's a other way to do this. Booleans can also hold conditions. Bool my condition. And you'll learn about this with if statements and stuff like that. So we're going to just use this as an example. Int 1 equals 100, and then int my int 2 equals 105. This is just a good thing to know. Put it in brackets, right? So pretty much we want to see if my int 1 is the same value as my int 2. Notice the equal signs. This means to compare them, whereas equal is to define them, right? Equal, double equal. So in this case, since int 1 is 100 and int 2 is 105, it's going to give it the value of false. But if we were to change them both to 100, we'll give the value of true, right? If this condition is true, yada yada. And you'll learn about that later on. If you want to learn more about, just the different variable types, you can just go to here, MSDN, at the very bottom. Right, just check them all out. Those are just your basics. And yeah, that's pretty much it.